auditorium lobby. So if you go out support, it would be much appreciated. Thank you.
Sometime the girls' game, something doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, just probably a couple minutes into the game when we get a break or.
This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 FM and iTalk1067.com. Also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports, and Comfort Fit Dentures. And now, Sholo Ford presents high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com. As tonight, we have the Snowflake Lobos traveling up the 77 to Route 66 to play the Holbrook Roadrunners in our girls' action. Stay tuned. Afterwards, we will have the boys' game as well. I'm Aaron Hewish. I'm joined Mike's side by Randall and Selma, the Holbrook legend, as it were. And we're getting set for a good one tonight. And these two teams played just a few weeks ago. And a little bit of a shocker, Randall. The Holbrook Roadrunners not only won the game, they beat the Lady Lobos in kind of a beat-down fashion.
I didn't actually get to see that game, so I'm not quite sure how bad it was. But going off of Coach Perkins' history, Coach Perkins is a wonderful coach, and he can get those girls to play some basketball. So I see this being a very good game tonight.
Well, we're going to segue into our Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center pregame. Summit Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get you back in the game. And so we're going to go first to our injury report. And Randall, as far as we know, no teams have any major injuries. Of course, it's the point in the season where you have an ankle or maybe a knee now and again. We see a couple knee braces. We see a couple wrapped ankles, but both teams healthy and not down any starters and reserves.
Yeah, no, I walked by both benches and I don't see any. I didn't see any major injuries or anybody not suited up for tonight's game. So
well, that's your Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center pregame. Summit Regional Medical Center is everything your athlete needs to get back in the game. We're going to go ahead. It looks like they're going to either cut to the anthem or to the...
Good evening and welcome to...
We're going to go ahead and we're going to take a break, folks. We're going to come back and give you our Ace Hardware keys to the game. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Lady Roadrunners. Please remember that the two teams playing tonight are members of the Arizona Interscholastic Association. And they abide by the rules and regulations set forth by the association to maintain and...
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. As we're going to have the lineups running in the background. We've had our Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center pregame with our injury report. We're now going to segue to our Ace Hardware pregame show. Ace Hardware is a 24/7 locksmith. The next time you're locked out of your car or just need a key replaced in the hour of the day or night, any night of the week, call Ace Hardware in Pine Top, Overguard, and Sholo. So, Randall, pregame, keys to the game. You talked a little bit about Coach Perkins, and Coach Perkins does an amazing job. We've both known him for years. He's every bit as good of a person as he is a coach. Does a fantastic job. But on the flip side, you have Mike Brogan for the Snowflake Lobos, and two very similar but two very different styles of coaching as we go into this game. Tell us about your thoughts.
You know, Mike Brogan, and I don't want to take nothing from him either. He is a great coach. He does have a different style of coaching, and it should be a very interesting game, and it should be pretty tight going up and down the court tonight.
I think it's going to be very tight. And as we come into this game, I believe the Lady Lobos are actually ranked 4th in the Copper Division, which is the Small School Open. The Snowflake Lobos are ranked 4th, but Randall, to that point, is anybody going to catch the Chinley Wildcats or the Miami Vandals?
I don't think so.
I haven't seen Miami this year. I saw them last year when they were all sophomores. Now they're all juniors. So I can't imagine. But that Chinley Wildcat with that 17-0 record is pretty impressive too.
Yes, very much so.
We're going to look for that as we have the starters in, which it looks like for the runners are going to be Harrington and Guerrero, Begay. Let's see. That's Williams and Casamaro. For the Lobos, it's Stewart, Hancock, Hips, West, and Raya Denhalter rounding out the Lobos. As Raynell West is going to jump center for the Lobos. And again, I will always apologize. I happen to work at the Snowflake High School, so I know a lot of these young ladies a little bit better than I know the Holbrook Roadrunners, although we have covered them a couple times. I will do my best to make sure I get their names going so we can get them the press that they deserve as well. As Randall, tell us a little bit about our officiating crew tonight.
Okay, so the tip-off official, that's going to be Leroy Thomas. We have Quentin Hayes, and I'm not quite sure who the young lady is on the baseline as lead official, because I have not called with her, so she might have come from the New Mexico side.
As Randall is one of our officials, as Kennedy Stewart knocks down a 3 to start off things for the Lobos. Let's look at our fishing crew. Randall is one of our fabulous AIA basketball officials, along with baseball, softball, and football. And folks, it is a thankless, hard job. If you would like to be or interested in becoming an official, we both recommend you do it. You get out there and you take part. I take part in a couple other sports, but come out and take part. Go to AIAonline.com and look to become an official.
Hey,
and,
Aaron, I need to correct you on that. That's going to be AIAonline.org.
Yeah, .org.
.org.
AIAonline.org. So All right, Holbrook with the miss. Now Lobos bring it up, Hips bring it up, ball in the middle, top of the key over to Hancock. Hancock on the far side. Hancock now to Stewart. Stewart sets up for another three. She puts it up. That's a Comfort Fit Dentures three-pointer. Smile. That's a Comfort Dentures three-pointer. Stewart knocks down, and here come the runners. As that's going to be Guerrero with the ball. Guerrero goes inside. That ball's going to fall off. Rebound is Hips. Here comes Nicole Hips. Hips looking. Had Denhalter open. Now she takes up. Gets a jumper. No good. Rebound West. West puts up a short. Almost layup. No good. But West gets her own rebound. And she puts it back up for two for the Lobos. I got to watch these Lady Lobos last night as they took on the Winslow Bulldogs. Rondo, we both witnessed that. And that game started out tight. But then the second half happened.
And I'm not quite sure, but I think at one point, because I was calling that game.
Right.
I was officiating, and to me, it just kind of felt like Winslow kind of started to give up, and then the spread just kind of opened up.
You can't take anything away from Snowflake, but I do agree there was a flow of the game that just, when Snowflake hit like that 6-point mark being ahead, it just kind of went, and so anyway, we have a whistle and we have a foul, and that's going to be on Raya Denhalter, her first team. And again, this is the third year now of the 5 team fouls per quarter, and I'm just going to say it has sped up the game more than anything. I absolutely love it. It's one of the best things I've seen coming into high school basketball.
I agree. The first year that it came out, it was really tough to try to get used to not going 1-and-1 after the seventh foul. But you're right, it really speeds the game up.
There's the inbound into Begay, and we're going to have a whistle. We're going to have a jump ball as Mr. Hayes comes in, says, no, that's going to be a jump ball. So according to the rules of the alternating possession of NFFHS high school basketball, it will belong to the Holbrook Roadrunners, and I believe that is Guerrero to inbound. Guerrero's going to inbound. It's going to go to Casamaro, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds. It is going to stay and belong to the Holbrook Roadrunners as we welcome you to Munoz Gym, Budenholzer Court. As I was actually having a conversation today with the principal of Snowflake High School about the coach and some of the things and of the late 70s when our principal, the principal over there at Snowflake High School, Shane Brimhall, played, not in this gym, in the old gym, and talked about some of the old battles they had back in the day.
The old Mike Starr gym.
That's right. Starr, as there's going to be a miss, and that's going to be missed by Williams. Rebound is West. Now here comes Stewart down the court. As Stewart's going to drive, she now kicks out to Hancock. Hancock's going to put up a three-pointer. Just like that, no good. Rebound West. West's going to put it back up, and that is going to be 2 points for West. And she's going to go to the line and try to add an and one. And Randall, you've done many games in that gym over yonder, haven't you?
I have, and let me tell you, it's an interesting facility.
It is a very interesting facility.
Because the stands are above the court.
And my understanding was nobody sat down below back in the day. It was always that way. And I can't imagine how packed that gym got.
It got interesting sometimes, and let me tell you, and it being such a small gym, the sound sometimes deafening when the crowds got into the ball game.
And there's West giving the Lobos an 11-point lead, and that's going to be thrown out of bounds, and it's going to go back this way to the Snowflake Lobos as they're up 11-0. As we have number 10, that's Harrington, getting ready to check back in for Coach Perkins and the Lady Runners. Lady Roadrunners? Runners?
Lady Runners. Yep.
Just sounds a little interesting. I think I looked it up one time, what a bunch of Roadrunners, like a bunch of Lobos is a pack. We know that. But
yes.
What's a bunch of Roadrunners? I think it was something kind of cool. I might have to look that up.
We might have to look that one up.
Because say it's a
because
good thing.
Because it is a bird. It's a flightless bird.
And that's Stewart into Denhalter. Denhalter puts back for two. Coach Perkins is going to take a timeout. We're going to take it too. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. If you look at the work of our cameraman right there, that's a Marathoner Roadrunners right there, as we have had it confirmed that a group of Roadrunners is a marathon.
And
so
that's what
runners,
makes it unique.
Runners, lady runners, it's good. Here come the Holbrook Roadrunners, and that's going to be, is that Urenga with the ball, or is that, I believe that's actually Claw, number 12. As she's got her close by Stewart. Now she gives it to Yazzie. Yazzie's going to be fouled by Denhalter, and that is a very quick second foul on Denhalter, and she's going to have to take a little seat out of the game as number 5, Haley Westover, the senior for the Lobos, is going to check into the game.
So I just want to touch base. With the runners. Now, if you're familiar with the Holbrook, some of the Holbrook plays, them being marathon runners, they do run. Coach Perkins gets these girls to push down the floor. So it's kind of ironic how this all kind of plays together.
As Harrington, the ball's knocked loose by Hancock. Now Harrington inbounds the Claw. Claw's going to bring the ball up the court as Claw's guarded close by Stewart. Now inside, and that's number 21, Guerrero, guarded by Hips. We're going to have a three-point shot, and that's going to be Jordan Claw with the first points for the Lady Runners as they needed to get on the board. And that, in my opinion, when they played Snowflake at home, the Roadrunners hit 8 3-pointers. And anytime you hit 8 3-pointers, as Kennedy Stewart puts up another 3, it's going to be no good. Rebound Hancock, no good. Rebound is kicked away. Westover had it, but ends up in the hands of Williams. Actually, Yazzie. And now going down to Harrington. Harrington drive, puts it up, no good. West gets the ball. Now West looks for Hancock. Hancock now, we see a little bit of the press action. As it's almost knocked away, we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a foul. And that was almost a gift foul, Randall, because the Lobos were going to have that 10-second violation after too much longer.
That's correct. Absolutely. Now touching base on the runners, if Snowflake has any chance of beating the runners tonight, they're going to have to shut down that 3-point. They're going to have to shut it.
They like say 24 points in Snowflake when these two teams met, and it wasn't even, in my opinion, as we approached the last second half of the fourth quarter, it wasn't even a close game. As the Lobos or the Roadrunners force West out, as now the ball goes into Westover, and Westover gets a hard 2 points for the Lobos. Hard because she kind of had a turnaround jumper there, as now it's forward to Urenga. Urenga goes to the floor, now it's stolen by Kennedy Stewart of the Lobos. Stewart guarded by Claw. Stewart now goes down left side, she puts it up. That's going to be a whistle and no good because she took one too many steps. One too many steps, and she's going to be whistled for the travel, and I always like to say, how appropriate we get a traveling on Route 66.
That's it.
But that's one of the cheesiest, dumbest things you'll ever hear, people.
And
came
that's
from
okay.
my mouth. As now we have Claw to inbound. Claw to your Yazzie, back to Claw. As Claw is going to cross over the time stripe, being guarded by Stewart. Claw goes to her right, now just under the 28-foot line. Inside, and that's into Williams. Williams back out now to Yazzie. Claw with the ball, top of the key. Guarded still by Stewart. Claw goes to her right, looking 15 on the shot clock. Ball now in the hands of Harrington. Harrington brings it back. Harrington guarded by Hancock. Hancock a little bit of body on there. As 5 seconds, 4 seconds, as we get a long three-point shot, and that's going to be no good. Is that's Yazzie, and that's going to be rebounded by, I believe, Raynell West was the rebound. Kicked out to Hips. Hips over to Stewart, now to Hancock, now back to Nicole Hips. Nicole Hips, the senior, number 10. Nicole Hips, 15-foot jumper, that's going to be no good. As Raynell West goes for a hard rebound, and it's going to be, that's going to be a foul on Raynell West. As we look at the replay there, Randall, with her going back like that, I'm not questioning, I'm just asking, why is that particular situation a foul? As we look at West tipping way back, was it because she's off her feet and got that body on the top of her?
She went into a push. Now, granted, she's going after the rebound, but because she did push the opponent, yep, as she goes and she pushes the opponent, that's going to be a common foul.
So right now we have some talking about it, and I think is the talking point where they're going to be inbounding the ball.
That's correct.
And so the foul is on the Roadrunners. I was for sure.
Wow, really?
So they called that. I apologize, people at home. They must have called that as Kennedy Stewart puts up another three-pointer. That's going to be no good. There's West with the rebound. And if you're the runners, as Nicole Hips puts up a three, and that is Nicole Hips with the three-point shot. And Randall, if you're the Roadrunners, you've got to find a way to counteract all these rebounds by Raynell West. I have her down as 7 rebounds already in this ball game.
Yeah, I'm still kind of focused. I'm still kind of focused on that foul. The only thing that I can think of after looking at the replay was maybe that she might have displaced or got underneath her when she went up for the rebound and pushed her from underneath. That's the only thing that I can think of.
Well, and we also have the advantage of replay. The officials on the court don't have it, as there's Stewart thrown inside, intended for Westover. Westover comes some defense in the face. Now she tried to throw it to Ballard. It's going to be knocked out of bounds. And last touched, they say, by the runners. Inbound Snowflake. His hip's going to be the one to inbounds. As number 11, the junior J.C. Ballard does check in the game. Hips now throws it over the top to Raynell West. West back to Westover. Now Westover's going to put up a three-point shot.
And she nails it.
She hits that one down. And Snowflake's saying, you know what, you're going to beat us on threes at our place. We're going to embarrass you with some threes in your place. As Coach Perkins will come up with something to counteract here, but I wouldn't doubt he regroups his girls here pretty quick to get things going. We're just under 2 minutes, and that's what's going to get them back in the game right there. Is ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. It's going to go to the Lobos, as I thought Begay got a little bit underneath with West. We missed a hair on that, but as Taylor Hancock checks back in, and she's going in for number 10, Nicole Hips. So the junior, number 4, Hancock replaces the senior, number 10, Hips. As Hancock now to inbound. Inbound is to Kennedy Stewart. Stewart over the top, and it is stolen. Stolen by Claw. Three-point shot by Claw, no good. Rebound. It was going to be Hancock rebound, but it looks like we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a foul, and that's going to be on 10. That's going to be Harrington. That's going to be her first personal, but a team fourth with 1:43. And again, folks, we go to that 5-foul shooting 2. As here comes Stewart down the court. Stewart on the near side being guarded by Yazzie, or Claw, excuse me. As Raynell West puts that one right back up into your point, Randall.
Looking at Greg Perkins' face, he's kind of not understanding what's going on, and the runners are down. They're down 20 points, and I'll tell you what, you can't get any further into the hole because it's going to be mad trying to get out of it.
As there's another steal by the Lobos, and Randall, when do you see 23 points in a girls' game in the first quarter?
It's rare. It is absolutely rare to see this. But let me tell you, Snowflake come out smoking
4 three-pointers.
Wow.
That's 12, so half their points,
absolutely,
over half their points are effectively on the three-point shot. As we get a whistle, and it's going to be, they're going to call that on 24 White, and that's going to go against Begay. As unfortunately, I'm sensing a little bit of frustration on the Roadrunners. That is going to be their 15th foul, as we mentioned, so that's going to put Haley Westover, the senior, at the line to shoot a couple. The foul is going to go against Begay, and that's Chelsea Begay, and that's going to be her second personal, and again the 15, as Westover, who just hit that long three, is going to the line to put a couple in. Again, folks, stay tuned for the boys' game. As you know what I've missed, Randall, is I've missed all these threes. We've had Comfort Fit Dentures three-pointers. Lots of Comfort Fit Dentures three-pointers to start this game. And so, real quick, we also forgot our Northline Pioneer College tip-off. I'll get in the groove, folks, don't worry. As Westover's second free throw is no good. Rebound, Ballard. And Ballard has the ball to Hips. Hips three-point shot. That is good. Nicole Hips for 3.
That's
a Comfort Fit Dentures three-point shot.
That's going to hurt the Roadrunners. Those threes are going to hurt the Roadrunners.
As we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get another foul with the Lobos up 26-3, as Holly Casamaro is going to check back in for the Roadrunners. The senior, number 50, is checking in, and she checks in for Atakai. Shayla Atakai. As Hancock looking for help down here. Now Hancock inbounds it to Ballard. Ballard crosses over the time stripe. And you have Ballard over to Hancock. Hancock now drives the lane. Dishes it into Bryn Cupford, number 12. That's going to be on the line. That's going to go to the Roadrunners. That's going to put Yazzie inbounding the ball. Yazzie's going to inbound the ball to Guerrero. Guerrero's going to bring it up, crosses over midcourt, 43 seconds. Shot clock is still a factor. Back now to Yazzie. Yazzie wide open move. That's going to be good.
Play.
That is going to be a great play.
Beautiful play.
And I don't know if we're too early to pick it, pick this up because we have an and one. That's going to go against Ballard, and that's going to be her first personal. But Randall, to that point, is Yazzie drives. That could be our Horn Auto Center drive of the game.
It could absolutely be. She did a great job.
As Yazzie's going to hit her free throw, that's going to be a 26-6 advantage as Hips. Now the Roadrunners put on some pressure as ball's into Kupfer. As we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a foul. And that's going to put the Lobos at the line as Kupfer's going to go to the line with a chance to put in a couple. And I don't count out any kind of Greg Perkins team here because his teams are still playing with some fire. And he's had some good ones over the years. As Leanna Sosi is going to check in the game. Kupfer going to go to the line. She's going to shoot a couple as it's going to bring this first quarter to an interesting close.
You know, Huey, let me tell you something. In the 31 years that I've been officiating, I can tell you for a fact, in high school sports, you cannot go in and think, oh, this team's on fire and this thing is going to be one-sided. You can't think that.
The only sport that I believe you can even think that is that's number 21, and that's Guerrero. Is there sometimes when you're in football and you're bigger and faster and stronger, but basketball, you get a team that's hot and hits three-pointers. To your point, that's exactly right. You never know what to expect.
No. You can think one team's going to blow out the other, and it could be an absolute tight ball game all the way through.
And here's Hips at the top of the key. Hips drives, no good. It's going to be around Kupfer. It's going to be waved off, and that's going to put the Lobos up 27-6. It's a Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Minute.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Today we're showing 2 beautiful cars and the savings that you can get on those this month. We have the 2024 Chevy Colorado LT 4x4. We can save you $3,100 this month, giving you a new sale price of $41,735. Next, we have a 2025 Chevy LT Trailblazer. We can save you $1,500 with a new sale price of $24,530. Horn Auto Center, the Chevy store that saves you more.
Welcome back, Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as we're going to turn it over to our fabulous camera operators real quick as Wes gets and puts it back, and that's going to be no good. Hips is going to get it and put it back, and that's going to be 2 points for Nicole Hips. Randall, we'd like to first take the opportunity to give our Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off the college with the lowest tuition in the state. Now offering bachelor's degrees in business and education. Northland Pioneer College locations in Navajo and Apache County. NPC, Northland Pioneer College. And we'd like to run down our sponsor. Sholo Ford, of course, is our overall Summit Regional Medical Center with our pregame and our healthcare and injury report. Ace Hardware with our pregame show and our keys to the game. Northland Pioneer College with our tip-offs. Comfort Fit Dentures. And they are sponsoring our 3-point buckets tonight. As that first shot by Yazzie is good, that's going to be Denhalter's third, and she's going to have to take a seat. Honda Ski and Outdoor, and they're going to be sponsoring our halftime show. Deemer's Glass with our Glass Man of the Game, and right now, it's going to be hard-pressed to not give that to Raynell West.
Yep.
Our Horn Auto Center drive of the game, we have a good one. We have Eleni Yazzie. She knocks down her second with that drive, and then we have our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint player of the game, and that's anybody's game. We've given it to losing, winning, as crowd wanted a carry by Stewart, but I think she kept that palm just up enough to keep that down, as now Hips has it at the top of the key. Hips to Stewart. Stewart inside to Hips. Hips with a layup, and Randall. Can you get much better than the give and go than that?
Nope, you sure can't. That was pretty smooth.
So, Randall, you got some shout-outs you want to give tonight.
Yeah, I want to give a shout-out to some family, Sarah over there in Virginia and Mom and Dad over there in Texas. Like to say hi and tell you guys I love you guys.
Hey, well, thank you, and thanks for tuning in. We have learned at iTalk 1067 that We go global a lot. As here's Hips at the top of the key. Hips now guarded by Williams. Hips now kicks it over to Hancock. Hancock back to Hips. As we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a timeout as Coach Brogan's going to take one. We're going to go ahead and take it too. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learning new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
Welcome back, Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as we get set to bring you 6 minutes and 38 seconds left here in this second quarter from Munoz Gymnasium, Budenholzer Court, off Route 66 in Holbrook, Arizona, as Kennedy Stewart is going to inbound, and Holbrook is doing everything he can, Randall, to tighten up that defense, but they're still seeming to struggle on those rebounds. Casamaro guarding Hips, over to Kennedy Stewart, guarded by Claw. Now here Casamaro pops out on Hancock. Great defense on her. Goes inside. Now Hips goes inside to West. And West, we were close to a shot clock violation, but West, right at the last moment, is able to put that up for 2 points. Claw now with the ball. Claw over to the far side. Claw puts up a NBA range three-pointer. It's going to be no good. Rebound. Guess who?
That was tipped.
Rebound, Raynell West, as Kennedy Stewart has the ball. Kennedy Stewart drives. A little bit of bump by Harrington as we get a whistle, and now we're going to get a foul, and they're going to call that on Casamaro. Number 50 for the Holbrook Roadrunners. Hancock's going to inbound. Now, Randall, he's given that little, what is the defensive player cannot have their hands anywhere over the plane of being out of bounds.
That's correct. If they reach, it's a delay of game, and then it's a warning in the book. And then if they do it again, then it becomes a technical foul. There's another 3.
That's a Comfort Fit Dentures three-pointer by Kennedy Stewart. Now, you say that's a warning. It's a warning on the team, so the next time it is a foul on the is it a warning on that player, or how does that work?
No, it's a delay administrative technical.
Okay.
And it's a warning, so any other delay beyond that. So if there's another delay, so let's say a player pushes the ball away from the opposing team on a after shot or whatever, that can be a technical because that administrative warning has already been given.
Great defense by the Roadrunners there as Harrington brings it down. Now Harrington sends it over to Atakai. Atakai now back to Claw. Claw brings it to the center of the court. Claw looking for a three-pointer, but she's being guarded by Stewart. Now Claw looks inside to number 44, Williams. Williams can't look into our cameras. There's going to be a give and go. And that's going to be Williams on a give and go, putting it up for 2 points for the Runners. 34-10 is the score. 5 minutes-ish left here in the second quarter as the ball goes into Westover. Westover puts it up. That's going to be no good. Rebound is kicked by West, but it's going to be kicked out to the free throw line where Westover grabs it. But now it's going to be knocked away, and it's going to end up in the hands of Harrington, who's bringing it down for the Roadrunners, going around the far side. Harrington going left, going right. Now Harrington takes it out to the far side in the corner. She's going to put it up, and that's going to be no good. Rebound Westover. As Westover gives it to Stewart with a fresh shot clock, and the Lobos up 34-10 as Stewart drives. And it's been on the back of these three-pointers. Even if you convert all these 3s to 2s, it's still a somewhat a lopsided game right now, but the ball game is played with 4 quarters and 2 halves as West goes into Hancock. Hancock puts it up. That's going to be no good. That's going to be a rebound by Williams. Now Williams over to Harrington. Harrington bring it up, guarded by Taylor Hancock. Knocked away, but still gets back in the hands of Harrington. Harrington with lots of time on the shot clock. She drives, being bumped by Williams. She drives the lane, puts up an underhanded shot. That's going to be no good. West has it, but kicks it over to Kennedy Stewart on a little mishandle. So Stewart now bringing the ball up for the Lobos. Stewart drive the lane. Now she sends it out to Hancock. Hancock over to Hips. Hips at the top of the key on the far side. Now Hips drives. Hips puts it up off the backboard. She kisses it off for 2 points. And these Lobos right now, Randall, are looking like the 4th-rated team in the small school open.
Snowflake came out on fire. They are wanting revenge from the last time that they played.
as Claw drives the lane, no good. We're going to have, I believe it's going to be Kupfer and the freshman, number 2, Josie Clare, is going to check in the game. As here's hips out to West. West's been spending a lot of time at the top of that key, up 36-10, but also having that force down and being able to drive and get, or not drive, but being able to scoot and get those rebounds. As now the ball goes to Stewart, back to Hips. Hips, now to the middle, over to Westover. Westover to Hancock. Taylor Hancock with the ball. Hancock being guarded by Williams. Hancock goes, that's going to be no good. Rebound is going to be Westover. We're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a foul, and Haley Westover is going to go to the line to shoot a couple. As the foul is going to go on number 10, that's Harrington. That's her second personal, and that is the second team. Westover at the line, and Westover currently is 0 for 2. And she hits her first one as Claire and Ballard check in. Ballard, it looks like Kupfer will check in for Haley Westover on this shot. As we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a timeout, we're going to go ahead and take it. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as the Snowflake Lobos up 39-10 with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left here, as Haley Westover is going to attempt her second free throw of this sequence as she was fouled, went to the line. As it looks like Bryn Kupfer is going to check in for her if she makes it. If she doesn't, Bryn will have to take a little bit of, but Kupfer's up ready. She's saying no, she's not going to miss this. We're going to check in. Here's Westover's second shot. As we have a whistle, we have a lane violation. That's going to let Westover shoot it again. And it looked like Guerrero just couldn't hold herself back there and stepped over the line just a hair too soon. Westover's second free throw is no good as well. Rebound Roadrunners. Guerrero now brings it up the court. Guerrero with some moves. Over to number 3, and that is Chi, and Chi throws it out of bounds, and that's going to bring Kupfer into the game for the Snowflake Lobos.
Looked like there was some miscommunication on that, Huey. Passing the ball, nobody was there.
As J.C. Ballard sends it over to Nicole Hips to bring it in. Hips guarded by Guerrero. Guerrero comes now on her. Now Hips is double teamed by Guerrero and Chi. Over to Ballard. Ballard in the middle to Stewart. Stewart at the free throw line. Drives it in from the free throw line. She puts it up. Had it. No good. Rebound. Josie Clare. No good. Rebound. Clare gets her own rebound. No good. Kupfer tries to get it. Now it's going to be knocked out of bounds by Kupfer. And the ball is going to belong to the Roadrunners, down 39-10. 2 minutes and 9 seconds left here in the first half. Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. Stay tuned, folks. We have our Honda Ski and Outdoor Halftime Show, and we'll get into a little bit of the boys' game. We'll talk a little bit about this monstrous first half by the Lobos. Regardless of how it turns out, it's 39 points. I mean, I've seen some scores where that's what teams are totaling up, so the Lobos are going to try to add to that. As we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a foul, that's going to go against Ballard. I believe that is her second personal, and that's going to put Yazzie at the line. Yazzie perfect at the line tonight for the Roadrunners.
You know, I'm looking at the score here, and we're at a 29-point differential, and of course, if they get to 30 points by the fourth quarter, we can have a running clock. But Holbrook does not want to get any further into this hole. It is going to be hard to get out of this hole if they get any deeper into this thing.
As Yazzie is made her first free throw. So Yazzie perfect from the line, doing everything she can to climb her team back into this game. Here's Yazzie's second free throw. As the crowd begins to trickle in to this game, as Yazzie's no good, and that's going to be rebounded by Ballard. Ballard now to Stewart. Stewart trying to break the press, and it's going to go to Claire. Claire is going to go to the ground, but she's going to get it just enough to get it back to Ballard. Over to Hancock, back to Stewart. Inside to Kupfer, no good. Rebound Roadrunners. And that's going to be Uranga with the rebound. Forward to Yazzie. Yazzie down the court on the far side. Yazzie looking. Now Yazzie into Williams. Williams now to Uranga. Uranga puts it up for 2 points. And Holbrook doing everything he can just to chip away at this lead for the Lobos. As there's a long court pass to Claire. Now it's forward to an open Ballard, as it's going to be forward to J.C. Ballard, except she's going to take one too many steps. If we have a replay on that, it looked like she had just enough of a shuffle step to be called traveling on that. No points. Ball belongs to the runners. Yazzie with the ball. And, you know, one thing I haven't seen, Randall, is last night in that Winslow game, their press, when they ran it, was extremely effective. And tonight, because of the lead, they have not had to go to that press at all.
Correct.
And Holbrook bringing that press has been just a hair short of getting the ball back. I mean, seemingly almost every time. But Holbrook taking those big risks has allowed the Lobos to have some pretty easy open shots, as Guerrero's going to go to the line to shoot two to chip away at this lead. 39-13, Lobos up. 1 minute left in the half. First free throw is good for Guerrero. That's going to put Hips and Harley Nichols in the game for the Lobos. Claire, Hips, West, Nichols, Hancock for the Lobos. As we have Uranga, Yazzie, I believe Guerrero for the runners. Here's Hips with the ball. Hips being pressed now to Nichols. Nichols now drives. Nichols forward to West. West to Hips. Hips now to Hancock. Hancock drives the lane. She puts up a little pass, shot, no good. Claire gets the rebound. Claire puts it up, no good. Hancock gets the rebound, no good. Now Nichols gets the rebound out to Hips. Hips, no good. Rebound finally is captured by the Roadrunners. They're going to whistle. We're going to get a foul, and that's going to go against Nichols. That's going to be the team fourth with 32 seconds left. And that's going to be Nichols' first personal. Ball will be the Roadrunners. The Lobos have gone ice cold the last 2 minutes from shooting.
They've gone cold, but Holbrook has got to rebound. They have got to start getting that rock when it comes off of that rim so they can get it back down the court.
Well, and the Lobos have done this without Raya Denhalter, one of their scorers and one of their big rebounders. And West has handled the bulk of the rebounds. You see Taylor Hancock as well as Kennedy Stewart fighting in there to get rebounds, as well as now Chi. That's over to Sosi, and that's going to be Guerrero with the shot, and she's going to say it was tipped. The officials are going to say no, and that's going to go back to the Lobos with only 12 seconds left. I think Coach Brogan's telling his squad, let's try to get something going. As we get a whistle and the ball out of bounds.
That could have almost been a foul. But our officials out there doing tonight, they're doing a great job. Absolutely.
That's going to be no good. That's waved off. And so we're going to go ahead and take a break. We're going to come back and give you Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show. We're going to go ahead and take it right now. The Shola Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Love sports? Love being part of the action? Imagine having the best seat in the house, calling the plays, and connecting with fans. As a play-by-play announcer, you'll be the voice that brings the excitement to life. You'll network with athletes and coaches, sharpen your skills, and even travel to exciting venues. It's your chance to turn your passion for sports into a thrilling career. Ready to make it happen? Text the word sports to 928-434-0101 to apply now. Don't just watch the game. Be the voice of it. Your dream job is calling.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
Welcome back to Shoal Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as we segue to our Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store halftime show for the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear. Go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor Store north of Pine Top on Highway 260 just before you get to the Honda Casino. Great shot of the Holbrook Road Runner student section. And as we go into our halftime show, we're going to talk about points. We're going to talk about Randall. I need your overall thoughts on the first half.
My overall thoughts on the first half is I think Holbrook came out flat. I don't know if they were expecting anything this much from
6 3-pointers though by the Lobos.
That is just crazy. And we're in the first half.
We're in the first half,
and we still have 16 more minutes a game, and that could increase from there. So Snowflake came out. They came out strong. They came out fast. And I think it just caught Holbrook off guard. Now, I'm not saying that Holbrook can't come out and dig out of this hole.
Snowflake did it, why can't Holbrook?
But they're going to have to do something, and they got to do it quick.
I think that Holbrook has got to find a way to get Raynell West and Raya Denhalter off the board. Denhalter's coming back with 3 fouls, but the worst thing for her would be to get a quick one and have to go down till the fourth quarter. But they've got to have an answer for Raynell West on the boards and an answer for threes. And Holbrook could get right. I mean, 3 3-pointers on a row, they could be right back in this thing.
Absolutely.
No problem.
Yep.
But what's a little bit puzzling is your high point scorer is Elena Yazzie, and she's got 6 points. But they're all off free throws except for a bucket. Now, the Lobos, on the other hand, Stewart has got 9. Hips has 12. And West has 9. So not only and that Denhalter, who's usually one of their high point scorers, hasn't even had too many to begin with. So the Lobos just going to kind of have to keep playing and doing their thing this half.
Yeah, they're I think they need to keep playing their game like they're doing, and I think everything will work out for the Snowflake Lobos. And Holbrook, they just got to get right back into the game, Huey. They've just got to get back in the game. They've got to come together. And they got to work together. Now, I understand if they drop some 3 points, they can get back into this thing. But sometimes that's not the key. Maybe sometimes they have to be able to just go and run the lane and get your layups, get your easy shots, and just chip away. And that could be even the best way to do this.
Well, I think that would be, to your point, is how effective would the press be? How effective would the press be is Coach Perkins' team has got to make that press effective, and they were fingertips away from getting a lot of those balls in the first half. But anyway, so we're going to segue to something a little bit different as we kind of look to the boys' game. But we don't want to dwell on the incident that happened, unfortunate incident that happened here at Holbrook High School. But we have been informed that the Holbrook-Alchese game, go ahead and talk about that next week and tell us what's happening with that game.
So we have we've got the Holbrook-Alchese game, which is going to be on the 5th down in Alchese. However, it has come it has come to my attention that there will be no fans from either side in that gymnasium for that game. And the reason for that is there was a fight that broke out here I believe it was Tuesday. A fight broke out between fans of Alchesay and Holbrook, and from what I understand, it was a great ball game. And a fight broke out, and Alchesay has made the decision that it will be a fanless ball game.
They canceled the JV and freshman games as well.
That's correct.
They moved the girls' game to something like 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes.
And then the boys' game will be played after. So kind of unprecedented when you have a Holbrook Alchesay game that's going to take place with no fans. And we both have been around high school sports a long time in the White Mountains, but I haven't seen that up here that I know of. I mean, I've seen where maybe a crowd gets ejected in the middle of the game, but I've never seen a school be proactive to not allow fans into a game.
It is very unusual. In 31 years, I've never seen a school in our area. Let me make that clear.
Correct.
In our area, not allow fans to be in a ball game. Now, to my point on that, I have sent a group of people out of a game before because there's just some groups that just don't back off of officials, and you just have enough.
So that's going to so these Roadrunners are going to go down to White River, and they're going to play, and that could be a really good, both boys and girls could be a really good game, but it's going to be a strange atmosphere if you're a player, because we know a lot of these guys, they grow up wanting to play in front of these crowds, so a little different take. But Randall, we got 2 minutes and 22 seconds left. I want, before we conclude our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show, go and conclude our points from the beginning about, it's not even what the Lobos have to do, it's what the Roadrunners have to do. Talk about that real quick again.
So I do want to touch base on this, and I'll do it really quick. The atmosphere is going to be so different because it's not going to be fan-packed.
Right.
Now, if our people that are watching this ball game, there's a lot of people in this gym tonight. It is not completely at capacity, but there is a lot of fans.
We still have the boys' game to start, though.
And we do, and I think it's going to get more fuller from there. However, it's going to be a different atmosphere. So now, back to your point on this, Holbrook is going to have to come out, and this is my take on this. I think the Roadrunners are going to have to do a press. They're going to have to do full court press.
And force turnover. Yep, I agree.
They're going to have to. They're going to have to get Snowflake out of their comfort zone and start getting and capitalizing on.
But are the Lobos going to be able to get some of those easy buckets they got on breaking that press? So it's going to come down to what you said earlier. They got to run. Both teams.
They're going to have to. And Holbrook's just going to have to break things up and get them out of their comfort zone, and they're going to have to capitalize on those turnovers.
Folks, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take about a 30-second break, and we're going to come back and bring you second half action. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com, and this is time for our Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, there's Casamaro with a three-point attempt. No good. Rebound inside. We're going to need a whistle, and we're going to get a foul on Stewart. It's our Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, you do it at your hometown college with the lowest tuition in the state. Now offering bachelor's degrees in business and education. Locations in Navajo and Apache County, Northland Pioneer College. As one of the things, Randall, is we're looking at Northland Pioneer College tip-off, but most people know, but some may not in our listening audience, that this gym was actually home to Northland Pioneer College for a short time.
To the Eagles, it sure was. And I got to take a second to remember who the coach was. for the Eagles, who he then turned to be the head coach for the Chinle Wildcats after NPC shut that program down.
Interesting. Well, we're back with action now, but Randall, there's the press, and there's hips to Denhalter. And, Randall, that's exactly what we said could not happen.
Yeah, Holbrook is going to... Wow. They need to capitalize on those.
That was Guerrero, and I think that could be in the line for our drive of the game, too, I hope Nicole's ankles are okay.
Yeah.
Because Nicole kind of gets a little push down the court as Holbrook takes it away, as Casamaro ends up with it. Casamaro back to Begay. Begay, good. No, it is no good. We're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a foul on the Lobos as the Lobos start very quickly, but Holbrook answers right back. But you can't just answer. You got to capitalize. Great look at Begay at the line. Chelsea Begay, her first free throw is no good. As we get a whistle and we get a sub, and that's going to be Yazzie checking in. As Begay at the line.
So if we've got any fans out there that can help me out on trying to remember who that NPC coach was, who then went to Chinle and coached the Chinle Wildcats for a few years, please, by all means, we're gonna have to text it to us or
look at our. Yeah, I get a lot of those during the game.
Because I sure like to get some help on that.
Let's go to our feed here as Denhalter goes into West. West has a shot, not an open shot. She tries to throw it to hips, and it's just a turnover now. Ball goes back to the Roadrunners, down a few.
Looks like 27 points, Huey. That was what they're down.
Your math is better than mine. As I'm looking here, as we do welcome all of you watching, as that's going to be Harrington with the ball. Harrington goes inside, and that's Williams. Williams tries to save it, but Denhalter gets the save. Now forward to Hips, and that's intercepted by, as we're going to need a whistle, we're going to get a foul on Nicole Hips as she had a little bit push on Harrington. As we do have a comment on her feed. We were talking about the old gym, and that's I played in that gym, 1973, and that's the former principal of Snowflake High School, who is a Holbrook Roadrunner, and that's Mr. Larry Titus. And we welcome him watching all the way in Baltimore, Maryland. So, Randall, we are coast to coast. We are live tonight. As Casamaro with the ball at the top of the key, Casamaro guarded by West, and that's a matchup I love to see right there. Casamaro against Reyna West. Now she kicks it out to Yazzie. We get a whistle, and we're going to get a timeout by Coach Perkins. We're going to go ahead and take it to the Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. As Taylor Hancock drives in and misses, it's going to be knocked out of bounds, and that's going to belong to the Snowflake Lobos. And I have, Randall, a different name than you have. I have Richard Zelensky.
That was an older coach, and yes, Coach Z was the coach for NPC, but the coach that followed him was Steve Troglia.
Troglia, that's correct. So we're both kind of right, and we like to appreciate our sources on that. As that's going to be a three-point shot, and that's going to fall.
Oh, it finally fell.
Channing, and that's a Comfort Fit Dentures three-point shot, and that came at about the best time So we got a delay of game warning on Casamaro for kicking the ball back, but if you're Holbrook, that's exactly what you need. And as we got, if you see at the top of our screen there, the Holbrook Roadrunner mascot has now entered its way in the gym. And Randall, I got to be honest, it's a cool Roadrunner, don't get me wrong, and I'm not mocking in any way, but it gives me the old San Diego Chicken vibes.
Yeah, it does.
and you know, when I was a kid watching I think it was called the Baseball Bunch on Saturday morning, and the San Diego Chicken. But anyway, we'll just forget about that because it's good. As I believe that was Begay has it knocked away, ends up in the hands of Yazzie. Yazzie now inside to that is Begay back as now Guerrero ends up with a Casamaro 3-point shot, no good. Rebound Begay, and that's going to be a whistle and going to be a foul. And Holbrook climbing back into this ball game.
And here it comes. You can't single anybody out just yet. But this is exactly what Holbrook needs. Holbrook needs this momentum. They need to capitalize on the turnovers that they've been committing, that they've been getting from Snowflake. Let me correct myself. They've been getting from them. And they need to capitalize and capitalize quickly, and they can get out of this hole.
So Begay with a chance to go to the line and make, and Begay's first one is good. You know, Randall, we talk about Holbrook clawing back in this game, but they are 4 points to 2 points in this quarter thus far against the Lobos. As Claire Reedhead's going to check in for Kennedy Stewart, as I think they're going to make her go back.
What happened was one of the officials wasn't on the same page, and one official brought a substitute out, and the other official administered the free throw without it being set yet.
So as Begay gets to shoot her second free throw, Randall, I actually have a question about some officiating mechanics, and I noticed this last night as her second free throw is good, as we're going to get a whistle, and that's going to bring in Atakai is going to check in the game for Begay, actually making that free throw. Atakai checking in for Begay as the Lobos clinging now to a 22-point lead. As Randall, one of the things I've been told is you have a head official, and the other two they just call umpires, but they're all referees, so to speak. But as Hips drives, and it's going to be good, Nicole Hips, another 2 points. My question, Randall, is, you know, in softball you have the plate umpire, and in football you have the white hat. In basketball, if there's an issue, does that head referee, does he have an ultimate say? Is he the crew chief of that game?
Yes, the referee, the official that throws the ball up, he is the referee of that ball game.
As that's a whistle, excuse me, that's Dea Guerrero drive. She's fouled by the Lobos, and that's actually going to be the Lobos' 5th team foul. This can be huge moving forward in this quarter, and that's going to put Guerrero at the line to shoot a couple. Finish your point. You have the one who throws up the ball.
So the referee, and you have umpire 1 and umpire 2. Now,
correct.
Umpire 1 is the one that chops the clock, and umpire 2 is basically he's watching the toss to make sure that the toss is accurate and it's not lopsided one way or the other. Now, if there becomes a problem with a rule or anything else that goes on in the ball game, the referee has the final say, even if it doesn't coincide with a rule. He has the ability to make the decision of what needs to be made at that point.
So there is someone that is kind of, as Nicole Hips brings the ball, she has, and we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a foul, as it's going to be, as the one girl, and I believe that's Harrington, she didn't, but the foul is actually, or excuse me, she got her in the arms. She didn't think it was, she had fouled, but one of them got the arms, and they actually charged that to Harrington. I felt like it was on Guerrero. Because in football, you have a white hat, but the white hat is only as good as his crew and cast around him. And the same thing in baseball and softball. You have that. As we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a foul, we're going to get a shove. And that's going to be Hips, and that's going to be a player control, so we're not going to shoot shots on that one, or are we?
No, not on an offensive foul.
Not on an offensive
Anything
foul.
that is offensive, we will not go to the line.
So, again, back to our point. So, like a plate umpire has the say in a baseball and a softball game, the white hat in football. There is actually a designated, quote-unquote, head official, head referee for basketball.
That's correct, yes.
As we get a three-pointer in the corner, no good. Rebound is Hancock. Hancock now pushes the ball forward as Hancock That was close to carrying it. Now to Hips. Hips inside, and it's Westover, and it's knocked away as Westover can't handle the ball, and it goes out of bounds. Going to belong to the Roadrunners, down 43-20, as the Lobos with 4 lone points in this quarter to Holbrook climbing back into this thing. As Claw now with the ball. Claw being guarded by Claire Reedhead, as it tries to go into Harrington, and it's knocked away by Hancock. Guerrero to inbound for the Runners, as the Lobos trying to tighten up their defense. Guerrero looking, now to number 12. That is Claw. Claw to Atakai. Atakai at the top of the D, being guarded by West. Back over to Claw. Claw now to Guerrero. Guerrero dribbling to the top of the key, now to Guerrero. Goes to drive, met by West. Ball's to number 15, Atakai. Back to Guerrero. To no, that's not Williams. That is Yazzie. Rebound Reedhead as Yazzie puts up a shot that is no good. 2 minutes, just under 3 minutes, excuse me. As we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a travel on the Lobos. As we're going to get another Holbrook substitution. Coach Perkins rotating his girls very quickly in, so I'm not able to memorize a lot of the names. And it's been a couple weeks since we've had a Holbrook game, so I'm not used to calling them. So trying to get the presses. We're going to have Harrington bring in the ball. Harrington's going to bring it into Yazzie. Yazzie's going to be met right after half court by Denhalter. She now goes to her left. Over on the near side, into Casamaro. Back to Yazzie, back to Casamaro. Casamaro drives her left hand, guarded by Stewart. Casamaro in, puts the ball up. That's going to go off the side of the basket. No good. Rebound West. West to Hancock, 2 minutes and 24 seconds left, as Holbrook's putting a lot of pressure on these ball carriers for Snowflake. Ball carriers. Dribblers. Reedhead puts up a three-point shot. That's going to be no good. Denhalter gets it. It's going to be whistled out of bounds. Belong to the Roadrunners. They say it was out on Denhalter. Holbrook inbounding the ball. Claw gets it, but Claw sends it right back to Yazzie as Yazzie crosses over half court. She's going to be guarded by Denhalter to her left. Now inside the Claw, outside the Claw. Three-point shot by Williams. That's going to be good. Bailey Williams, three-pointer. That's a Comfort Fit Dentures three-pointer, and that cuts the lead to under 20 for the Roadrunners. Is exactly what they needed to do in this quarter. As Stewart inside to West, West is going to put it up, and that's just what Raynell West does best. Puts it up as we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a timeout. Coach Bergen's going to take a full, we're going to take it. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Today we're showing 2 beautiful cars and the savings that you can get on those this month. We have the 2024 Chevy Colorado LT 4x4. We can save you $3,100 this month, giving you a new sale price of $41,735. Next, we have a 2025 Chevy LT Trailblazer. We can save you $1,500 with a new sale price of $24,530. Horn Auto Center, the Chevy store that saves you more.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. As after Coach Brogan called a timeout, if the Raynell West make, the Roadrunners are going to bring in the ball, and Harrington's going to bring in the ball. She's going to throw it forward to Claw. Claw's now going to bring it over. Half court, met by Claire Reedhead. Over to Casamaro. Casamaro over in front of her bench. Now she goes to her left. Drive, quick give and go. That's going to be good. Harrington, 2 points for the Roadrunners. Down 19 with a minute 22 left in the third. As great job by Holbrook of making it, because at one point we were close to a 30-point lead. As we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a foul. I believe they're going to call that one on Harrington. And if they call that one on Harrington, that's only the third team, but I believe it's, they're calling, no, they're not. They're calling it on Claw. Hips checks back in for the Lobos. This is going to be Reedhead to inbound, Reedhead to Stewart on the inbound. Stewart now brings it to the top of the key, looks to drive, gives it to Hips. Hips gives it into Denhalter. Denhalter puts it up, and that was seemingly an easy 2. 47-26 minute left in the first quarter, as that's a long court pass to Yazzie. Now back to Williams. Williams thought about shooting a 3. Now at the free throw line, kicks it out to Casamaro. Casamaro over. Now she's absolutely stuffed by Raynell West as Raynell West brings it down. And West looking to go coast to coast, but ends it with an air ball. Rebounded by Hips, now to Reedhead. Now to Hips, back to Hips in the corner. Hips guarded by Harrington, into West. West back to Reedhead. Reedhead over to Denhalter. Now Denhalter drives the lane, puts it up and in, no good. Rebound West. West blocked as she puts it back up. We're going to have a whistle. We're going to go to the ground. We're going to get a jump ball, and that's going to go to the Roadrunners. Yazzie going to inbound for the Runners. Yazzie inbounds it real quickly to Guerrero. Now it's back to Yazzie. Yazzie bringing it forward. Yazzie crossing over the time stripe. At the 28-foot line, guarded by Westover, who's checked in the game. Yazzie now to the left. Now over on the far side to Casamaro. Long court pass. Give is inside to Begay. That's going to be no good and knocked away. It's going to stay and belong to the Roadrunners over there by the Chicken.
By the Holbrook Chicken.
It's a Roadrunner.
It's definitely a Roadrunner.
We get it. Casamaro gets the inbound. Now back to Guerrero. Guerrero goes to her right. Ball gets a little bit loose, and that's going to fall down. We're going to go ahead and take a timeout. The Shola Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learning new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
And that's still a lot of ball game.
A lot of ball game.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Welcome back to Shola Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. As the inbound goes to Hips, Hips tries to throw it back to Hancock, and it goes out. But this is the start of the fourth quarter, which means it's time for our Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off the college with the lowest tuition in the state. That's Northland Pioneer College, now offering business degrees in bachelor's degrees in business and education. Northland Pioneer College, as a 12-point third quarter for the Roadrunners brings them back into shooting distance of a 21-point deficit. The Lobos putting up 8 in that quarter, but a very hard 8 as Holbrook came out and played some absolute defense on the Lobos. As Yazzie's going to be guarded by Denhalter. As now the ball goes to number 21, Guerrero. It goes in, and we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a foul, and that's going to be a 2-shot foul. I believe that's going to go on Hips, and I think
they've chipped away 10
and there's
of those
another
points.
There's another 2 as it brings it under a 20-point lead. Lots of ball left as the Lobos now inbound. The clock runs, and there's Stewart being guarded. Stewart hasn't knocked away as this press is dangerous, and we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a foul, and that's going to be the important thing is if you're the Runners, that is the second team foul on the Lobos, which puts them ever so closer to that 2-shot penalty, as we had basically what they call a loose ball foul, and that goes against, and the Lobos are going to have to find some kind of answer to this press. They had it in the first half, and we're getting a lot of quick buckets, but I don't know if it's the mix of the chemistry or the players that are in, but they're not doing a very good job of breaking this press, although still playing phenomenal defense as Guerrero has the ball. Guerrero gives it back over to Atakai. Atakai now back to Guerrero. Guerrero comes to the middle at the top of the key, being guarded by Ballard. Guerrero twist, puts it up. That's going to be good. Guerrero puts it up for 2 points for the Roadrunners. Stewart now inbounds to West. West now to Stewart. Stewart now dribbles out of the press. She brings it over half court as she looks inside for Ballard as the ball goes off, and it's going to stay and belong to the Snowflake Lobos. As I wish they would kind of crack that back door a little bit. It is warm tonight in here.
Yes, it is.
It's always Casamaro comes out, being replaced by Williams.
But if you noticed on that last drive for Snowflake, Holbrook was in a full court press, and that was another thing that we talked about. Holbrook's got to come out. They've got to press.
And one thing I like about how Holbrook's playing is they know the officials are letting them play a little bit, so they're right in the face. And they're not worried about getting a foul. They're not worried. And because of that, they're not getting them as Snowflakes to the second foul. As Stewart drives, Stewart's going to put up. That's going to be no good. Rebound Roadrunners down 17. Ball goes to Atakai. Now is in the hands of Yazi. As now it's to Williams. Three-point shot. That's going to be a good three-point shot by Guerrero.
And
as that cuts the lead to 14.
And here comes the Roadrunners. I'm telling you, you can't mark them out.
Nope, not with those three. And that was a Comfort Fit Dentures three-point shot. As we're going to get a whistle, and we are going to get a push. And that's what I think has made Holbrook successful, is they've been able to play in-the-face basketball and not get those fouls. That one caught up with them a bit. Stewart goes to Hancock. Kennedy Stewart, three-point shot. And that's how you get the Lobos right back on top as she hits a three-point shot. And that is a Comfort Dentures three. We're going to go ahead and take a timeout. The Shola Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Love sports? Love being part of the action? Imagine having the best seat in the house, calling the plays, and connecting with fans. As a play-by-play announcer, you'll be the voice that brings the excitement to life. You'll network with athletes and coaches, sharpen your skills, and even travel to exciting venues. It's your chance to turn your passion for sports into a thrilling career. Ready to make it happen? Text the word sports to 928-434-0101 to apply now. Don't just watch the game, be the voice of it. Your dream job is...
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Welcome back, Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 1067 with 6 minutes left. The Lobos up 50-33, up 17 on the Holbrook Roadrunners. They just had a three-point shot by Kennedy Stewart. Now ball goes inside, and Williams had it. Williams sends it into Claw. Claw has it rejected. Now here come the Lobos as Stewart, a little bit of contact, but nothing called. Stewart comes down the court. We're going to get a whistle, and we are going to get a foul. And I think, Randall, the aggressiveness of Holbrook's defense, they're going to start playing a little more with their hands and not their feet because their starters are tired.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And Guerrero was the culprit on that foul on that one. And
Hancock to inbound, Hancock to West. West now over to Denhalter. Denhalter, she kisses it off the glass for an easy two for the Lobos. And the Lobos spreading around their scoring tonight as Stewart hips Denhalter and West as Guerrero drives. Guerrero puts it up. And that is just another hard 2 points for Guerrero, as she is the sole point scorer this quarter, as we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a foul as Reedhead tries to bring forward the ball, and she's going to be met by Claw. They're going to call a personal foul on Claw as Reedhead to inbound. As we get a whistle, and the ball's knocked out of bounds by number 10, Harrington. Stewart now ends up with the inbound pass. Stewart over to Denhalter. Denhalter now looks. Denhalter reverses up. And Randall, that's about a 9-foot jump shot that kissed off the glass, and it went in for Denhalter. Lobos back up to a 19-point lead with under 5 minutes left to play. Guerrero now driving to her left for the runners. Guerrero guarded by Denhalter. Guerrero backs up three-point lane, wanted it, didn't take it. Now out to Williams. Williams guarded by West. Inside now, and I believe that is inside to Yazi. That's knocked away. The ball belongs to the Lobos. The Lobos are going to do a little pushing of their own as Hancock brings it down the court. Hancock's actually going to take it all the way and try. No good. Rebound Stewart. Stewart puts it back. No good, and we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a foul. As a little side note, too, is Kennedy Stewart, I believe her dad is a Holbrook boy.
I believe, oh man, I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Ryan?
And he's my eye doctor.
Ryan.
Ryan Stewart, yes.
So I see him actually up there, and he's cheering hard for his daughter. He's definitely a Lobo at heart these days.
Yes, he is.
As he gets to watch Kennedy go to the line.
Also here too. Her grandfather is also in the crowd.
As Stewart makes her first free throw. As I know the Stewart family personally, and their family and their extended family are just fantastic people, and I love the support they give any of the aunts, or excuse me, any of the nieces, nephews, grandkids, the aunts, uncles, and the grandparents that can make it are there, and I think that's fabulous. Here's Stewart's second free throw. That one's going to be good for Kennedy Stewart. As Randall, here's her box score: 4 threes and 2 free throws. Williams bringing the ball up for the runners, guarded by West, and that's going to go out of bounds. And we're going to get a push on Hips, and that's going to be Hips' 5th personal. And Hips is going to go to the bench with 14 points, and that's going to be her 5th personal. As they're signaling now, it's her 5th. As Westover checks in, and Coach Brogan's got to reach to his bench to get a sub for Hips. I believe he gets a minute, correct?
He gets 20 seconds.
Oh, okay. There you go. As now Claire Reedhead checks back in for Hips. And we're raring to go with 4 minutes and 22 seconds left. Lobos up 21 on the Holbrook Roadrunners.
I stand corrected. I'm sorry. He gets 15 seconds. The 20 seconds is for an injured player or blood, for him to correct it and then determine whether he wants to take a timeout.
And that's Claw driving the lane, putting it up 2. And that cuts into the lead again. It's teetered on it was cut to 13 at one point, and it's been cut forward enough, but as now we have Westover, and Westover throws that ball away.
We're halfway through the fourth quarter. We're at the halfway point, and Holbrook is chiseling.
As we're going to whistle, we're going to get a jump ball, and that's going to belong to the Holbrook Roadrunners. Oh, did we get a foul? They're going to call that a foul, and that's going to go to Guerrero, and I guess that, we look at the replay here, and I think they ran into it, and I thought they were calling a jump ball, but they were not, and that's Holbrook's 5th team foul, which means that Kennedy Stewart, who we just talked about, is going to go to the line to put in a chance to put in a couple more, as the Lobos lead 19 with 3 minutes and 55 seconds left. Again, we'd like to welcome you to Show Ford's presentation of high school basketball. We'd like to thank our sponsors: Summit Regional Medical Center, Ace Hardware, Northland Pioneer College, Comfort Fit Dentures, Honda Ski and Outdoor, Deemer's Glass, Horn Auto Center, and Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint. As Stewart makes 1 of 2. Here come the runners. Another three-point shot. Was that Guerrero again?
It was.
Guerrero with another three-pointer for the Holbrook Roadrunners as inbound ball, and we're going to get a jump ball, and that's going to go back to the Holbrook Roadrunners. As Raynell West checks back in the game, and she checks in for Haley Westover. Roadrunner ball. Lobos with 3 team fouls this quarter, up 18. 3 minutes and 37 seconds left. But if the Roadrunners could put together a little run of three-pointers here, they're right back in this ball game. As we get a 5-second foul, and that is a 5-second violation, excuse me. And I was actually quite shocked to not see a timeout from Coach Perkins there. He does have 2 on the clock. Saving those for the end is now Lobos inbound. Denhalter with the ball. Denhalter to Hancock. Hancock now looking for Reedhead over on the far side. Now back to Hancock. Just under the 28-foot line at the top of the key. Over to Stewart on the near side. Stewart now dribbles to the center start. Now she tries to throw it to Hancock. It's intercepted by Claw. It goes into Harrington. We're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a foul. And we're going to get an and one opportunity to cut into this lead even more, as this is a chance to bring it to a 15-point lead, which is we have not seen since. We saw 13 at the beginning of this period, or was it in the third? Anyway, as Harrington a chance to complete a 3-point play here. Harrington's and one attempt is good. 15-point lead for the Lobos, 3 minutes and 16 seconds left. Hips has fouled out for the Lobos. Now Stewart with the ball. Stewart forward to West. West gets cut off by Yazi, but somehow gets the ball back now to Hancock. Hancock puts it up, misses. Rebound, Claw. We're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a foul, and that's going to go against the Lobos. That's going to be on West, and that's going to be the Lobos' fourth team, and that's going to be huge as we move into this fourth quarter wind down here. That is the fifth team foul on the Lobos, so we are shooting from here on out. As Claw goes to the line, a chance to put in a couple. Chance to cut the lead to even more. Claw's first free throw is no good. Now, Randall, I want to look at the last time these teams played because I think the score was actually quite similar. It was 53-42, so different. She makes her second one. So an 11-point advantage, which is about, if we keep going the way we're going, this could end up as these two teams evenly matched.
Yes, they
as Stewart gets triple teamed, and we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a jump ball, and that's going to be Stewart. And without Hips, they do lose one of their main ball handlers. You have Hancock and Stewart in there handling the ball, but you miss the sure-fingered Hips in there, and the sure-handed Hips getting that taken care of as Taylor Hancock to inbound. As inbound is to West. West was kind of left all alone. Now West looking, now back out to Stewart.
The game, how big of an effect is that going to have on the Snowflake Lobos of winning or allowing Holbrook to chip away at the score?
Well, Hips is very good defensively. She is one of their main ball handlers. What they is the right now you have Claire Reedhead replacing Hips, and she is not as sure-handed, not as experienced. Hips is a senior, Reedhead the junior, but still you're down one of your main ball handlers, and Snowflake does very well when they have the three in there, and not as good as Stewart misses her first end of her two shots, as her second free throw is good. And that helps keep that lead 59-44, back to a 15-point advantage for the Lobos. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the half. Here's Claw. Claw over to Guerrero. Guerrero now left side, guarded by Denhalter. Guerrero puts it up. That's going to be a whistle, and we're going to get a blocking foul. And if they call that on Denhalter, which I think it might, actually they're going to call that on West. I think that's West's fourth as well. It is Denhalter's fourth. They call it on Denhalter, and that's going to put Guerrero at the line to shoot a couple. As stay tuned, folks, we have our post-game show, where we have our Deemer's Glassman of the game, our Horn Auto Center driver of the game, and our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint player of the game as Guerrero makes her first one, brings it to a 14-point advantage. Lobos cuts into that lead as Leanna Sosi checking in for the Roadrunners, as the Roadrunners seem to be playing a little bit tired. And I noticed that Coach Brogan has not subbed quite as much. Second free throw is good. And I think it's partially because he's worried these Roadrunners can get right back into this game. As we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to time out. We're going to go ahead and take you to the Shola Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Welcome back, Shola Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as we go to the last 2 minutes and 28 seconds tick down. This is the fourth quarter now. Randall, I know we can't speculate and we don't know. What are you, Coach Perkins, saying in the timeout? What are you, Coach Brogan, saying in the timeout?
From the Coach Brogan side of things, I think Coach Brogan is explaining to his girls that they've got to stop Holbrook. They cannot let them back into this. And Coach Perkins, we're going to push to get that.
At what point does Coach Perkins say, if you have an open perimeter shot, you got to take it? As the inbounds is from Hancock to Denhalter. Denhalter playing with 4 fouls. Hips has already fouled out. We get a whistle, and Denhalter's whistled for her 4th. So Lobos in a bit of foul trouble as now Stewart has the ball. 22 seconds on the shot clock. She goes forward to Reedhead. Reedhead no good. Rebound is West. We're going to get another whistle, and we're going to get a foul as that's going to go against the Roadrunners. Raynell West is going to go to the line to shoot a couple. As Stewart has really come on in this 4th quarter, she has 7 in this 4th quarter to go with her already 6, so her at 13. And Randall, one thing I'm noticing right now is as we look at Raynell West free throws is you cannot discount how much of a factor Nicole Hips was because they've lost the offensive production, but handling the ball and defense has seemed to go a little bit awry with her out of the game.
I agree with that. And Snowflake being 14 points ahead at this point, I can almost believe that with her being out, this is having an effect on the Lobos right now.
I didn't notice it as much as it was going to be. As here's Williams, and she gives it over to Guerrero. Guerrero guarded by Denhalter. Denhalter with 4 fouls, playing like she has none, as now Denhalter gets it. Denhalter dribbles through. Denhalter over on the far side to Reedhead. Reedhead now to Hancock to Kennedy Stewart. As Kennedy gets trapped, she's trapped by Harrington as well as, I think that's Yazzie. As we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take it to the Shola Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Good to have.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Welcome back to Shola Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. As down 14 the Roadrunners are with 1:44 left. We're going to go right from the end of this game to our postgame show. Our postgame show is going to feature our Deemer's Glass man of the game. Need glass for your home or business? Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call. We need quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass in Lakeside, 1-888-GLASSMAN. And our Horn Auto Center drive of the game, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more, as well as our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint player of the game. And that one, Randall, is going to be a hard one tonight. I think we got our drive of the game. I think we got our glass man of the game. Our player of the game is yet to be seen, as we're going to get a whistle, and that's going to be on Claw. And if I'm Coach Perkins, I'm not actually that upset with it because it gives my team a chance to regroup a little, only down 14, and possibly a chance to throw up some of them threes. As here's Stewart at the line, running out of room on my score sheet on Kennedy Stewart's 4th quarter with all these free throws. She makes her first one, 61-46. Lobos up, 1:41 left in the 4th quarter. We do have the boys game. We're going to have to switch over, so you might have to stop your YouTube broadcast and flip over another one. As there's Stewart's second one, that one's made, and A.J. Yarn, the freshman, number 20, is going to check in for Reedhead. As A.J. Yarn checks in, Denhalter, Stewart, Yarn, West, Hancock on the court for the Lobos. As now Williams comes out on the top of the key. Williams is double-teamed, looking for Guerrero. Now gets it to Guerrero, but it's knocked away by Denhalter. West gets it, gives it to Denhalter. Now Denhalter's bringing the ball down. She looks for Hancock. Hancock brings it over. Now Hancock's getting trapped over to A.J. Yarn, knocked out, and that's going to belong to the Lobos. As that's going to be, we're going to see the replay here, and I do think that they're chirping a little bit that Mr. Hayes, the official, was in the way, but my understanding is, and it's been a long time since I put on the stripes for high school basketball, a long time, is you're as much a part of the court as that hardwood when you're wearing those stripes.
We sure are.
In fact, you should just wear sublimated court-colored stripes. That'd be awesome. As Reedhead gets the ball over to Stewart. Now Stewart, a minute left, 62-46. Now to Reedhead, back to Stewart, 14 on the shot clock. As Stewart takes it over on the far side, goes to her left, to her right, now back to her left, gives it to Denhalter. Denhalter inside to West. West loses it, but gains it back in. Now to Hancock, back out to Reedhead. Reedhead three-point shot, no good, as that's going to was close to a shot clock violation. No good, as we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a foul. West is going to go to the line to shoot two. And Randall, that's just a matter of the shot clock did not get set fast enough because it had already come off the rim. Correct?
Yes. They, as soon as the ball hits the rim, the clock should be reset. But it does take the clock operator a second or two.
Oh, there's a human element in it, absolutely.
Absolutely.
West's first free throw is, not
barely
very good.
off the rim on that one.
West with a nice 14 points on the night, as the Ballard, Claire, Nichols, and we're going to get a whistle, and West is going to check out, and Kupfer's going to come in for West with 46 seconds left. And this is the future of the Lobos right here, and I think the Lobos are in pretty good hands between Coach Brogan and the squad he's put together this year. And this win will be good for them to get into that open playoff. Now, the weird thing about the open, Randall, is if you lose in the first two rounds of the open, you actually go back into your 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A, or 6A tournament. So you have a chance to actually compete in the open, but if you lose in that first two rounds, you get to go back into your state tournament.
You know, as an official, I don't follow the brackets, because
I looked up today because I wanted to see where everyone was at. In fact, our boys matchup tonight, I believe, is 13 versus 12. And how cool is that? Is we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a carry on Nichols, and 24 seconds left, 63-46. And we can't discount the effort, though, that these Roadrunners have given this half to bring this game close.
I agree. They have fought back. They fought back very hard, trying to climb out of that hole. But like I said earlier, once you get into almost a 29-point deficit.
It was a 29-point deficit at one point.
It is just extremely complicated to get back out of that hole. It is very hard. It can be done, but it is hard.
As Kupfer sends it forward to Ballard, and Ballard puts it up, no good, and she's going to go to the line and chance to put some points in the column tonight. Another stat is Taylor Hancock has spent a lot of time on the court. She's been a starter tonight, but all her efforts, hers wasn't on the points. Hers was defense and getting the ball up the court. So great job by Taylor Hancock. As I'm looking through our sheet here, Randall, and we've got a little bit of a task. Guerrero has played extremely well on this somewhat of a comeback for the Runners.
Guerrero is a very strong and solid player.
The Roadrunners with 20 points this quarter, that's going to tick down at the end of the game. We're going to go straight to our post-game show. And we have our Deemer's Glass Man of the game. Need glass for your home or business? Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call when you need quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass in Lakeside, 1-888-GLASSMAN. And Randall, our Glassman, our Windexes, so to speak, they clean the boards, is going to have to be Raynell West of the Lobos.
Going to have to be. Yep, I agree.
We had her at 7 rebounds at 3 minutes into the game. 7. And she did nothing but continue that, as we see a nice handshake and exchange between Coach Perkins and Coach Brogan. And although they want to win and they want to compete, we also got to say that they are good friends. And I'm venturing to say that they're probably talking about the next games and what they're going to do to stop their teams. But that's a great picture right there of two very good White Mountain basketball coaches, and we appreciate what they give us for entertainment, and thank you to them. So Raynell West is our Deemer's Glass Man of the game. Now, we have our Horn Auto Center drive of the game. We talked about this early on, and I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to see if you agree with me. I got to go with Elena Yazzi's drive down on our right in that first quarter, where she got the and one.
That's correct, and that was at the 33.6 seconds left in that first quarter.
Yes.
She drove, swung the ball around her back, made the shot, and got the N1. That was an amazing play.
And
amazing.
She ended the night with 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 points, but still has our Horn Auto Center, the Chevy Cadillac and GMC store that saves you more, drive of the game. Now, Randall, we are going to talk about our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint player of the game. I don't know where to go with it because Kennedy Stewart had 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I don't see how you can't give it to her because of those 2 3-pointers that started off the game.
That started, correct. And what is Hips sitting at?
Well, Hips wasn't points, but we saw when she came out of the game what happened. But at the same time, Stewart may have not picked up the ball handling, but Stewart picked up that point total. West had a good night. Denhalter, a very quiet 10. Okay, we have Guerrero with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 11, and 11 and 6 is 17. But I think, my opinion, see what you think. I got to go with Kennedy Stewart just because of the point total, and I feel like those knockdown 3-pointers are what started this game off.
And I'm going to agree with you. You know, I'm not going to take nothing away from Guerrero because Guerrero is a solid player.
Guerrero did a great job.
She did a great job tonight, but Kennedy set the tone for the Snowflake Lobos. She set the tone. She is the one that started this off for the Snowflake Lobos win tonight. And I think you're right. I think we need to give it to Kennedy Stewart.
And another point, too, is the Lobos, 15 points in that first quarter. So the Lobos point totals per quarter went 27, 12, 8, 15. The Roadrunners, 6, 8, 12, 20. Amazing. What I mean, it didn't seem like, because Snowflake still had 15 in that fourth quarter, but when have we seen 2 20-point games by each team in a girls' game? Doesn't happen. 15 by Snowflake. So anyway, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to give Kennedy Stewart, with some minor Holbrook roots, we're going to give her our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint Player of the Game. Folks, we're going to switch our broadcast over. This has been Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
This has been Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 1067 KNKI Pinetop and iTalk1067.com. Brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports, and Comfort Fit Dentures. This broadcast has been a copyrighted production of iTalk 1067 and Country Mountain Airwaves, a Kopaniki communication station. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of this broadcast without the express written consent of iTalk 1067 or Country Mountain Airwaves is strictly prohibited. For more information on this game and other games around the region, go to iTalk1067.com.